I have just built this full stack cross-platform mobile application in Expo using Bolt.new and Cursor. This is a full stack mobile application with complete backend, and I'm building backend of this application using Firebase. So this is my app. I'm currently running this app on web because I have developed this app in Expo. So that means not only I can have an Android and iOS version, but I can also have a web version as well. So this version is the web version of my app. So this is the authentication system of my app. I can simply sign up using my email address and my password. And once I have signed up and I have verified my email, the sign up details will be saved in Firebase. So this is Firebase dashboard. I'll explain about Firebase later in this video. But as you can see inside this authentication tab, this is my email that I have used to sign up. So currently there is only one user. So that's why there is only one email showing in here. So once signed up, I can simply just go to this sign in screen. And from here, I can just provide my login details that I used to sign up to create an account. After that, I can simply just click on this sign in button. Once it is signed in, now it will say that, okay, I'm signed in. And now I can actually, there's an option that I can generate my daily plan. So this is actually a daily planner application. This application creates my daily plan. So I can explain it in my own words, what I want, what is my daily plan. And then based on that, it will generate a very detailed daily plan. Today, I will start work at 9, and first thing will be I'll be recording 2 videos until 12. After 12, I will start work on my next.js project. After that, I will edit videos. Then I will do thumbnail design. Please adjust all of the tasks in different time slots in my day. After that, simply just click on this generate plan, and it will now actually start generating this plan for me. So right now you can see it has generated my today's plan. This is my complete today's plan, and then it has divided all of this plan into different time slots. So my day starts at 9, and I'll start by responding some emails, and after that at 9:30 my first video session will start, and after that at 10:30 my second video session starts. There are some of these sample tasks that I actually created just for testing before, and after that then there is this lunch break at 12. Then there is video editing first session, which starts at 1. After that, that passion project that I mentioned, it starts at 3. After that, there is thumbnail design and brainstorming initial concepts that starts at 5. After that, there is gym workout session that starts at 6. After that, there is dinner. I didn't ask it to add this dinner, but based on the general daily routine, it has added these pauses, like these natural pauses in that. Then working on the passion project, the second session, and after that, then prepare for bed, and then there is bedtime at 11. So it has like created all of this complete tasks for me. And just not only that, we have this calendar view as well, where we can see all of these tasks mentioned in that time slot. So these are the time slots, and we can see all of these tasks are mentioned here. So these are the completed tasks, these are the pending tasks. Let's suppose if I finish any of these tasks from here. So let's suppose if I finish these 3 tasks, and inside calendar I can see these 3 tasks are completed and these are the pending tasks. So all of this data is synchronized in backend, and then whenever like I open my app, I can see my today's tasks finished or like unfinished, and all of that data is being stored inside Firebase. Okay, so the amazing thing is I started developing this app in Bolt.new. I know Bolt.new is famous for creating landing pages or creating some basic tools, but it is really good at creating Expo React Native mobile applications as well. And once I had my initial version ready, after that, I just imported that Bolt.new project inside Cursor, because now I wanted to do some more serious development, because in Bolt.new you can actually run out of your tokens. Even if you're on a free plan, still you'll run out of your tokens. So then after that, I just imported Bolt.new project inside Cursor. So in this video, I'm going to show this complete process, that how I started development in Bolt.new, what were the prompts that I used, and then how I imported that project in Cursor, and then how I like built that complete backend using Firebase. So this is Bolt.new, and currently you can see I'm using the free plan, which is a personal plan. And this is the first prompt that I gave to Bolt.new, which was build a mobile app that plans my day. You can integrate AI in it. Here's the API key of Google Gamma 327B from OpenRouter. So I'm using this API key from OpenRouter. So inside OpenRouter, I just used this Google Gamma 327B, this model, because this is the cheapest model out there that I had. My only need was actually to just like, based on my initial text input, my only need was to generate my daily plan. So for that, I do not want to use like maybe something like Claude 3.7 or something like OpenAI. I want to use the cheapest model out there. So the cheapest model out there is Google Gamma 327B, which cost only $0.1 per million input tokens and 0.7 than $2 per million output tokens. I know this is not a reasoning model, and you can say like this is not smarter like Claude 3.7, but our requirements don't need a top tier model. We can use something like this kind of cheaper models for our purpose. You can choose any model from OpenRouter. You simply just go to OpenRouter and then you can just choose any of these models from here. So once I selected that model, I just created an API key on OpenRouter, and after that I provided this documentation for this API key. You can find this documentation in here. This is the sample code that it is providing, so you can simply just like copy this code from here, provide it to Bolt.new, and after that you can simply just like I just simply pressed enter, and then it created the first version for me. The first version of my app was very basic, and then this is how this first version looked like. So that first version had all of these features, and even I could like generate plan as well, but there were some errors like this text. So it just like created task for each text that it created. So this is the first text. This is like just a sample text like which says like, okay, let's build a productive and balanced day, and it just created that as a text as well. So then I attached that a screenshot in here. Then I asked it to like look at that screenshot, and whenever it creates a plan for me, it should like now identify which are the exact tasks, which are the tasks for that particular day, and then it should list all of those tasks for my app. So then it just made some changes in these code files. Next I just integrated that calendar functionality, and after that it just like integrated that functionality. After that what I did not want to consume any more tokens on Bolt.new. Currently in my free tier you can see I have only 1 million tokens per month, so that means I can only consume maximum 1 million tokens. So I have consumed just for this project, just for this app, I have consumed 126,000 tokens already. So I did not want to like consume any more tokens to integrate backend and to create all of that Firebase integration. So what I did, I downloaded that source code. Let me just show you how you can do that. So you can simply just click on this export button from here, simply just click on this download button in here. It will download this source code in this zip file. Simply just open this. I just copied this zip file inside a folder. After that you can simply just extract this zip file and then get the source code of your project. After that just open that, simply just open this project folder. From there you simply just copy this URL from here, go to Cursor. If you don't know what is Cursor is just an AI code editor. You can simply just go to cursor.com and download Cursor from there. Once Cursor is downloaded and installed on your computer, Mac, or doesn't matter if you're on Mac or Windows, Cursor works same on both. Simply just open Cursor. After that simply just click on this open project button, and from here you can simply just add that URL to that folder that we just like extracted in here inside your computer. Then after that simply just click on select folder, and then it will open your project inside Cursor. So this is my project which is currently opened inside Cursor. You can see currently I'm running this project, and this QR code is what I scanned to open my project inside my mobile application. Okay, to develop this application, Bolt.new is using Expo. What is Expo? Expo is a React Native framework. And what is React Native? React Native is a JavaScript framework that we use to build cross-platform mobile applications. So Expo is just a layer on top of React Native. I have created several videos on my YouTube channel about Expo, that how you can create and even publish mobile applications on App Store using Expo. All of these videos are absolutely beginner friendly. You can watch them on my YouTube channel. This particular video is a complete mobile application development guide in React Native Expo. You can just watch this video, and I will leave a link in description as well. So you can simply just start developing applications using Expo absolutely for free. So because Bolt.new by default uses Expo, so you are not required to set up a project again once you import your project inside Cursor, because now that project is created in Expo, and now you can simply just like import your code inside Cursor. And once you have done that, next thing that you need to do before you do anything, you need to simply just open your terminal inside Cursor, and from here make sure that you have opened your project inside Cursor. After that you can simply just run this command, which is npm install. Once you run this command, what it will do, it will install all of the dependencies which are required to run your project, which are mentioned inside this package.json file. So this is the package.json file. This contains all of the information about your dependencies and basically all of the libraries that you are using inside your project. Once you run this npm install command, it will install all of these dependencies for your project. To run your project, you can simply just run this command, which is npx expo start. Simply just then press enter, and then it will start your project. I'm already running my project, so that's why it is asking me to run this on a different port. But yeah, this is how it actually shows when you run your Expo project. So it shows this QR code that you can actually scan on Expo application, and then you can directly run your application on your mobile phone. So Expo has mobile applications for Android and for iOS. You can download these applications from your Google Play Store or on your Apple App Store. If you're an iPhone user, simply just download these applications applications on your phone, and after that you can simply just using your Expo mobile application, you can scan this QR code and then you can run your application directly in your phone. Just like I'm currently running this application inside web just to show you, so you can run this application on your mobile phone as well. Now once I have tested my application on my mobile phone and everything is working fine, now next step is to build a backend and authentication system for our project. To do that, there are several ways. You can either use something like Supabase or something like Neon.tech or something like Google Firebase. So Google Firebase is the mostly used framework to build backend for your applications. You can start using Firebase absolutely for free. If you have a Gmail account, you can absolutely start using Firebase absolutely for free. So just go to firebase.google.com. After that, just go to console. And once you're on console, you can see all of your existing projects if you have created ones. Otherwise, you can simply just click on this create a new project. And from here, you can simply just name your project and then create your project for Firebase. For this application, I have just created this project. You can simply just click on that and your project will open, and this is how it will look like. From here, we need few things because first we are building a authentication system. To create an authentication system, you can just go to this authentication tab, and from here you can simply just go to this sign in method, and from sign in method, let's suppose if you have not, currently I have created these two sign in methods. One is with email and password and second one is sign in with Google. Let's suppose if you have not created anyone, you can simply just click on this add a new provider, and from here you can just like choose any of these different providers to create a authentication system for your app. You can even simply just create an authentication system using a mobile phone, or you can simply just do like using Microsoft, Twitter, Yahoo, or Google Play, GitHub, or Apple. Just like choose any of these and then you can simply just build an authentication system for your project. So once you choose your sign-in methods, now next step is to use your project settings inside your project. So to do that, you can simply just go to this settings tab inside your project. Just go to project settings, and from here inside this general tab, it will ask you to create a web app. You need to create a web app. You can simply just click on this add app button, and from here you can simply just choose this web app option. So you can simply just click on that. I have already created that. So once you create your web app, then it will provide you with some details. So it will provide you with this block of code, and in here there is very important information. There are these Firebase configurations that you need to use inside your project. Inside my project, there is firebase.ts file, and inside there, this is where actually I'm using this Firebase configuration, all of these details. So it has API key, it has an authorized domain, it has the project ID, it has a storage bucket, then it has this message sender ID, it has app ID, and then it has this measurement ID. It needs all of these details to create an authentication system for us. But you don't need to do that manually, because you can just like use Cursor and ask Cursor to integrate Firebase and use this Firebase configuration settings. You can see inside Cursor, first I asked it to integrate Firebase into my project. I provided the documentation link for Firebase. After that, what I did, I provided it with these configuration details. So I just copied those configuration details and just mentioned that here are the details from Firebase. Please add it to our project. And then after that, I just provided this block of code that was provided inside this Firebase section. So from here, I just provided that, and after that, it just like started writing code, and then after that, it just created this Firebase. After that, it just like added this configuration detail. I did not have to do anything. Of course, I can just like do that manually, but because Cursor can do that, and I know what I'm doing, so that's why it is easier and it saves a lot of time. And even if you don't know how to write code, if you don't know how to write syntax of the code, so there's still not a problem for you. You can just like use Cursor and then provide all of these details, and then Cursor will manage all of the rest of the development for you. So after creating this authentication system using Firebase, there were some errors. I just provided those errors inside Cursor, and then Cursor resolved those errors automatically. So now once your authentication system is done, once you have created a database for your project, now next step can be, now you can just like start developing your application, the front end of your application, and then start adding more features in your application. I have provided the complete source code of this application. You can simply just download it for free from GitHub, and after that you can just like start developing on top of it. You won't be required to create any authentication system from scratch. All of that is done for you in this source code. You can simply just provide these Firebase configuration details, and after that you can also provide that open router API key, and then you can just like start developing your app from there. So this is how easy and simple it is to develop full stack mobile applications. The reason why I used Bolt.new in the beginning, it was just like for the brainstorming purpose. So it is just for convenience. You can just directly start using Cursor and start developing your project inside Cursor. But because you get 1 million tokens in Bolt.new every month, so that's why you just have to like consume those tokens. So just for that purpose, once you have any idea inside your mind, just explain that in Bolt.new, start developing from there, and then you can carry on development inside Cursor. If you have any further questions, just leave a comment in comment section. And if you have any video ideas, just do share that in comment section as well. I see you next video. Bye bye.